All right, good evening. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Welcome to the Business Toolkit, sponsored by Kingdom Covenant Church and our Financial Harvest Ministry. Tonight is going to be extraordinary, y'all. And I'm super, super excited to be on tonight. And I want you to do me a favor right now. I need you to stop right now, tag and share. Tag everybody that has a dream. Tag every person you know that God has given a vision to. Tag people you know that God has placed something in their heart that has to begin with a thought. Because when that thing begins to manifest in your spirit, something exciting and supernatural begins to happen. And I am amazed to see the awesome gifts that God is bringing to the body of Christ. And to be able to have these two extraordinary individuals that are going to be leading the conversation tonight, we're going to have a good time tonight because we're talking about making money and helping people and building financial wealth. We're talking about education. We're talking about progression. We're talking about entrepreneurship. And this is a part of our vision. So tonight, I'm so happy to have KCC's own Financial Harvest Ministry leader and the leader and founder of Financial Garden, Miss Tasha Danielle. Hey, Tosh.
Hey, Pastor Jay.
Listen, I'm excited to have you on tonight. Let me just say thank you, Tasha, for all that you do, not just for the members of Kingdom Covenant, but for all of the people that you have helped. So many people have been texting me today saying, "Hey, I need Tasha's number." I said, "You gotta wait till after tonight." Okay, so we rocking, and this is an amazing time. Listen, Tasha, take a moment tonight to just talk to the people about the vision of Financial Garden and how we came up with the concept of the business toolkit tonight, and then we're gonna introduce the other glam girl on the live tonight because she's headed for something amazing as well.
So, vision for Financial Garden and Financial Harvest.
Financial Garden.
Okay, the vision for Financial Garden is to financially educate the community and like just improve overall financial health. I started on my journey of paying off $80,000 before the age of 30, and I focus on several key areas when teaching financial literacy. And one of those is entrepreneurship. I teach that not only to adults like I'm doing tonight, but I also teach it to kids, wrote a kids book about it, just so people know, especially kids, it's another way to reach your financial goal other than saving. So my goal for Financial Garden is to just be into more schools, because I go in schools and teach kids K through 12, and also to have an online platform so everybody can have access to Financial Garden's wonderful curriculum.
Yes, and that curriculum has been outlined in your book that you have written that has helped so many children. Talk a little bit about Amina's Bracelets.
So Amina's Bracelets is a kid's book I wrote about a little girl who wanted to reach a financial goal of buying a tablet. Now, if you got kids, you know, they always asking you for something. And you may say, like my mama told me, you better use your own money. And instead of encouraging her just to keep saving her allowance from her chores, she ended up starting her business selling the bracelets. But the one thing that I didn't do, that I did different in this book is not just say, oh, make money, but also going over, did you make a profit? So I want to talk about that a little bit tonight as I do in the book. Just because you sell stuff and you got money coming in doesn't mean you're actually making a profit. So that's one thing that children will really understand when they read this book.
Wow. Well, Tasha, as you know, part of our vision here at Kingdom Covenant Church is to leverage opportunities in the marketplace. When we started 2020 off, we had no idea that we would enter into, a global pandemic. And I've heard so many people say that they're actually doing better, financially during this pandemic. It's caused us to kind of reevaluate what's important, realign our goals. From a spiritual concept, you've heard me say, I believe God shut us down to put us ahead. And so it's almost as if, this is the right time to sit down to, formulate your plan, make sure you have your plan in place. And that's what we wanted to do tonight. We wanted to feature those who may have, dreams, visions, goals for the future, and to use your expertise and financial wisdom in order to be able to set us on a pathway for success. So I'm telling you right now, if you're on the live tonight, you need to tag and share. You got to tag and share this because a wealth of information is getting ready to be shared. And just before we move on, Tasha, you got some amazing and exciting that's coming up, and we just been so excited about it. We've been praying about it, believing God. I've been fasting. So let's talk a little bit about the Build Your Legacy contest, of which you are now a finalist, and we saw you last night on Fox 2 News here in Detroit. Woo-hoo!
Thank you.
Nation, go ahead. A little bit about the Build Your Legacy contest, what it is, and how you're going to use the resources when you win once this thing closes on July 1st.
Right. Thank you, Pastor Jay, for claiming that. You and First Lady have been praying over me and keeping me in my right mind during this contest. I can't thank y'all enough. But this Build Your Legacy contest is from Essence and Pine Sol, and then we're looking to award one female entrepreneur, one Black female entrepreneur, $100,000, $100,000 grant for their business, just so their business can grow. So I was one of many participants across the U.S. that applied for this grant, this competition, and I won the 3 finalists, and I am the only one in Detroit, and I know Detroit gonna show up and show out for me, especially after this live, and especially after being on Fox 2 News. But that's a little bit about the contest.
Well, we're going to blow it up. And so, y'all, listen, go to financialgarden.com. This is Pastor Jay's official endorsement of our own Financial Harvest ministry leader at Kingdom Covenant Church. Vote for Tasha Danielle on financialgarden.com. Stop right now. And, don't stop right now. Okay, we'll remind you again, but I need you to tag and share. And of course, we're getting ready to welcome, and I'm going to really turn it over to these ladies, and I'm just going to kind of insert where I can. But tonight, I wanted to feature, one of the things that really blesses a pastor is to see the people that he is connected to, the people that he is ministering to, the people that he is praying for and pouring into through the word of God, reach personal levels of success. Gone is the day for the pastor to be the only one in the church that's profitable. That day is gone. We are living in a time right now where I believe that the economic empowerment that should belong to the kingdom, the Bible says that, God will shift the wealth of the wicked into the hands of the righteous. And I just believe that this is our season to prosper and to be in good health, even as our soul prospers. So it's so important that we align our precepts, because so many of us, we have dreams and visions. And Tasha's going to teach us a little bit about that tonight. We got side hustles, but we're not putting the cues in place in order to make sure that we are adequately prepared to take over in the marketplace. And I'm excited about visionaries. And this young lady tonight is a young lady that God brought to our church a little bit over
2, 3, something like that.
And has just taken the Elevate Nation by storm. I love people who come in, roll up their sleeves, and work in any way, shape, or form or capacity. But she's gifted and anointed in her own right and getting ready to launch her own business. And so we figured, what better time to make sure that as we are launching businesses as a ministry, and anybody that's in Kingdom Covenant, you got a vision, you got a dream, you got a side hustle, but you need to legitimize it. You need to tap in, tag, and share tonight because great things are in store. So we're 2 days away from the launch of Turn On the Charm. The executive CEO is Miss Chante Graham. Hey, Chante, God bless you tonight. Thank you for being with us.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Why don't you talk a little bit about Turn On the Charm, how it moved from a dream to a vision until now a reality, and tell us about what your passion is in getting this business off the ground.
Well, I've always loved fashion. I love to see women feel good about how they look and what they have on, and that's a big deal to me. And so I feel like every woman has something about them that is phenomenal. And so the one thing that was really, really important to me were accessories to go with your outfits. And so sometimes women struggle a little bit with, what should I put on with what? And so I had the idea to start a business, Turn on the Charm, which makes custom designer inspired charm bracelets. And so from that, I've expanded a little bit even more to necklaces, and there'll be some earrings available on the site as well. And, just things to bring that outfit together where you can't figure out that one piece that you need. You can find it at Turn on the Charm.
I love it. And you already shared some of that product and merchandise with First Lady, and she's been walking around here charming and clinging and charming. I love these pieces. And so I know she's excited. We're excited. And to be able to push that vision to the next level is just something that really, really, is a part of the momentum vision. The momentum vision this year is about leveraging opportunities in the marketplace, as God has called us to love, lead, and lift our families. And we can't do that if we're not economically empowered. And so I'm excited tonight. Tasha is going to take us through some of the cues and checkpoints tonight for all of those who aspire to turn their dream into a powerful business. And we're going to make sure that we go through tonight. But mark your calendars. This Friday, June 27th, is the website launch for TurnOnTheCharmShop.com. All right. And I know that Chante is going to have some special giveaways and all kinds of things she's going to be doing. So watch out for that over the next couple of days. And you definitely want to make sure you vote for Tasha Danielle before July 1st on financialgarden.com. All right, Tasha, it's in your hands. Let's get down to business tonight.
Okay, so again, welcome everybody. I'm so glad everyone's tuning in. Now, Chante, I'm so excited for your business. Turn on the Charm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so I was so glad when Pastor Jay suggested that, we connect and maybe touch base on some things that you should consider when you start your business. So I'm giving my CPA perspective on things that I have that business owners come to me all the time with that they make mistakes on. So I created a 10-point checklist for new entrepreneurs who are starting a business, what they should consider and think about before really taking the world by storm. If you are, it's not too late to jump back into it and get back to the basics. So Chante, what did you think of the checklist and how to get started with it?
Well, I definitely felt like the checklist was extremely comprehensive. It covers all of the bases for anybody who is starting a brand new business. It does not leave a stone unturned. So I really feel like if you are a person who's considering turning that side hustle or that hobby into a new legitimate business, that this checklist is a game changer. It's going to make sure that everything that you need to have in order to be a legitimate business and to make sure that you are going to be solid and not going to put yourself in harm's way as a business owner is covered in this checklist.
Awesome.
Thank you. That made me feel good that I definitely hit on everything that you should consider. Now you are already, even though you are launching June 27th, you already had so much already going. Even with going through this checklist, and we went back and kind of did a consult over like, hey, what did you have questions on? You had more than half the checklist already done. So kudos to you for already being on the right track. So I want to kind of just share briefly some of the things that Chante already knocked it out of the park with, and then we'll dig a little bit deeper on some of the things that she still wants to work on and consider as she's growing her business. So I'm going to share my screen really quick to kind of briefly go over the checklist, and so you can see it. And
so this is like exclusive now. I want y'all to know this is you should have the word premier up here tonight.
Right.
This is like, man, and y'all getting this for free. This is free. Okay. The next time we do this, it'll be a fee. It's gonna be a fee.
Okay, so you can see on my screen the 10 things that you should consider when starting a business. So the first thing is getting started. We're gonna come back to that. Obviously, Chante got started. I touched on having a business plan, which we're gonna circle back to in a minute. But IRS guidance. A lot of people don't consider that when you start a business, you really need to make sure you're going into it for profit, because after 3 years out of 5 years, if you have profit losses, the IRS can deem it a hobby. So Chante was already well aware of that. And a lot of people are shocked by that. And they may feel like, well, if I have losses for more than 5 years, it don't matter. It does, because the IRS could say it's a hobby and you can't write off anything. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but that's just something I had on the checklist for Chante to consider. And she already knew all about it. Briefly, legal business formation. What do you want your business to be set up as? Do you want to be a sole proprietor? Do you want to do a doing business as? Do you want to have an LLC, or do you want to incorporate? So, Chante, how is your business formed? What's your business formation?
My business is an LLC. I wanted to have the option to hire additional personnel if need be. So I didn't want to do the sole proprietorship option. So my business is set up as an LLC.
Okay. And I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a second to kind of go more into that. What I like that now that you just have an LLC, a lot of people set that up and then they figure one key thing, which is having an operating agreement. And one of the things with having an LLC, which is a limited liability company, is it protects your personal assets from in the event of a lawsuit. So turn on the charm is going to be breaking down doors, bringing in thousands, hundreds, millions of dollars, right? We're going to claim it.
Amen. We claim it. Thank you, Lord.
Yes. And if someone were to try to sue you and it was over business insurance or whatever, without having an LLC and an operating agreement, they can come after your personal assets, your house. I'm not an attorney, so I'm just talking high level. So if you in the comments, you attorney, I'm not going super detailed. I'm just keeping it high level. So when you form an LLC, and you can do that by going to Michigan.gov, LARA, it's like a / or whatever. You can form it there. You can file it yourself. You can do a legal company do it for you. Chante, how did you decide to form your LLC? Did you do it yourself, or did you go with a legal company online?
So I want to give a shout out to Teresa Callahan. She has a new business where she is helping the small business owner like me set up a business legitimately. She has a wealth of knowledge, and she actually walked me through this whole process of making sure that all of my stuff was set up properly. And so I can't remember the name of her company right now, but Teresa Callahan on Facebook is the one to talk to help you through all of this stuff. She is amazing. So that's who walked me through it, and that's who set it up for me. I did have someone look over it for me to make sure everything was on the up and up, and everything is good. So we are rocking and rolling.
You've been blessed. You got 2 people looking out for you.
So she got all sides covered. So she got
right. You should be.
I need you all to understand the spiritual connection to this as well. And I need to talk about this. Let me interject, Tasha, before you go back to the checklist, because I want people to understand, that there is a spiritual dynamic that goes along with this, and I'm a firm believer that you really can't be over anybody if you're not under anybody. So that's a spiritual principle that we kind of believe in at the Elevate Nation, and we kind of promote it. And one of the reasons why the people that you're seeing are so successful is because they're submitted and they're servants. And when you really prioritize people and you see your business as an opportunity to serve people, then what happens is that God gets in the middle of that, and then he begins to prosper it, because not only is your, educational and business structured from a place of security, but also your spirituality is intact from a place of humility, and you understand the power of servanthood. So I wanted to just kind of throw that in, because I believe that that's such an important principle.
Yes, and Chante had the positive attitude. She could have been like, oh, somebody helped me with it. But she had the open mind, like, okay, let me get another perspective. And that's so key. So yeah, she was blessed to be able to have more than have the stuff on the checklist, because she already had worked with someone else. But then what a blessing to work with someone else and just be like, hey, just double check and make sure you got this too. So let's get back to the checklist real quick. So I just want to point that out, because a lot of people come to me and say, how do I get started with an LLC? What should I do? How much does it cost? Where to really start? And you can go to Michigan.gov. If you're not in Michigan, you can go to your state's website and file it yourself, or you can hire a company to do it, hire an attorney. But the main thing you want to make sure is you have that operating agreement, because if you were to get sued, courts could deem your LLC is not really being an LLC because you're not operating as such because you don't have an operating agreement. So look at something else. So after the business formation, I see some comments coming in. The next thing on the checklist was business banking. Now, obviously, we're going to business to get this money, right, Chante?
Oh yes, give me the coin.
So, while share with people who are watching, what did you have to do to set up your business bank account?
So once again, it's a blessing in being connected. Let me say that. Thankfully, we have wonderful connections within the Elevate Nation, and so I contacted somebody that I know at Elevate Nation and was like, "Hey, I need some help setting up a business account. What can you do for me?" Of course, we're in the midst of a pandemic, so going into a bank right now, it's not getting ready to happen. So of course, I contacted Sister Tawana and was like, "Could you help me out right quick? What can I do? Can you send somebody my way? Put me in the right direction?" Because I really didn't know what to do, seeing as though we were at home. I can't really go to a bank to set up a business account. And when I say that Sister Tawana rocked that thing out for me, she sent the person emailed me. They sent me all my documentation. I filled it out. We did all the verifications via email and via over the phone. And even after everything was set up, the people over at Flagstar Bank called me back to make sure that everything was good on my end. And I have had an excellent experience with them. So, if you can just find you a good bank where the people are really going to have some care behind you as a customer, I think it'll be great.
I think, Tasha, one of the important things about business is learning how to leverage the power of relationships. Man, one of our mottos at Kingdom Covenant is celebrating the power of connection. And that connection has more than not just to do with church membership. Church membership is so kind of outdated, and it's changing even right now, particularly in this pandemic where everything is going digital and everything is going virtual. The real wisdom and power is being able to leverage the relationships that God puts you in contact with. And so don't ever dismiss, the company that you keep. And if the company you keep is not taking you to the next level, you need some new company.
That part.
Right. I feel like we're doing a KCC promo commercial right now.
We are.
Okay. Number five on the checklist.
I mean, Pastor Jay, you did say we were starting this year off momentum strong, even with. I'm just so proud of Chante because even during this pandemic, I'm still gonna start this business. I'm still gonna make sure I'm doing everything right. So I think that's just so inspiring for people who may be watching, who are like, I had this idea, don't really know what to do. I'm gonna wait till COVID is over. We don't know when that's gonna be. So I just again applaud you for going out and just making it happen.
Thank you so much. And Kiana said in the comments, Tasha, Tawana, Teresa, 3 T's. Yes, Lord, honey, that's the team. You hear me?
Yes, Key, yes, the 3 T's. And then
we really sweet with these lower thirds tonight too. This is awesome.
Say that one more time, Pastor Jay.
Yeah, we sweet with these lower thirds tonight. This is awesome.
That is sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So we're back on the checklist. So what's the next thing, Tosh?
1 second. I want to just put this up here. So I'm producing. Look, Pastor Jay, blessed in this church. You got me over here, not just being a CPA out here, being a producer that's live right now.
Hey, your contract when we get on.
All right. So I want to. I actually have my business account with Flagstar as well, and I want to say I'm not doing a promo for Flagstar, but if you are new with starting your business, look at a local bank because they are fee friendly. So that's something you should consider. If you don't have, you're just getting started, so you may not have pre-orders or anything coming in where your balance may be low. They are really friendly on fees and really working with you. I had different situations pop up, and I never had a problem when I went into and talked to my banker. So before you get to the bank part, you need to make sure you have an EIN. And that's the employer identification number. And if you have an LLC, you need to have an EIN. And so one of the ways to do that is to go to the irs.gov to do that. Then when you Google EIN in Google, you're going to get a ton of pop-ups for it. Pay to get your EIN. Getting your EIN is free. So I just want to give that nugget as well. So to get your business bank account, if you have an LLC, you need to have an EIN set up. Go to the bank, or in this case, not go to the bank. if you at Elevate Nation, you got the right connect and get you set up without leaving your home. But you need to have your business formation documentation, so your LLC, articles of organization, and your EIN, and then you need that to go to the bank. Now, if you are if it's not just you, if it's a partner or two other people, they also need to be on the articles of organization, and all three of you or whoever, all the owners of the business need to go into the bank or however you set it up. But you need to be present to open up the bank account and have your EIN. So Chante already had that. So that wasn't like she wasn't confused on their process. So I was like, okay, you got that on the checklist. So after that,
Chante is checklist strong. She checklist strong.
So scaling up is I'm gonna hit on number 5 and number 6. I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen really quick. Also, I'm gonna do a little plug. If you want to get this checklist for free, all you have to do is go to this website on the screen. So it's seedplanning.financialgarden.net. Type that in, you'll get a landing page, need your email, and then you'll get the download. So this checklist that I'm walking through, I'm zooming through it tonight, but it's a free checklist. If you go to the website that's on your screen, and if I'm giving you something away for free, you better be voting for me on this on this Build Your Legacy contest. But,
okay. Vote, people.
That's a powerful resource. And let me just say, Tasha, thank you for, being willing to share that as a resource, because so many people, don't have the information and they don't know where to get the information from. And so, please, y'all understand that this is information that is really, really going to help you get that vision off the ground. So when you go to it, make sure that you are appreciating the resource that's being provided, because I'm telling you right now, first of all, you got to have a servant's heart to even want to share this. So kudos to you, Tasha.
Okay, and before I get in, getting some more shout outs to Miss Callahan. I want to show her some love, especially since she got Chante all the way together. Yeah, so because she was already going through that checklist before halfway through. So just showing her.
Yeah, because we're not haters at KCC. So guess what? Everybody can get in. So shout out to Teresa Callahan at Giving You the Business LLC. So thank you so much, Teresa, for all that you do, not only to help the body of Christ, but to see African-American people come up in the area of financial wealth. Hey, shout out to you. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's a little small on the screen, but after that, we talked about scaling up. I'm coming back to that because me and Chante dug a little bit deeper when we did our consult on scaling up. But I want to point out business insurance as well. That's something we're going to come back to. So I'm just hitting through the checklist. Permits and licensing. Chante already had that together. So she is doing, her business is e-commerce, but she still made sure she had the appropriate permits or licenses from the state of Michigan. So did you get together with, is it Tressa or Teresa? I don't want to say
Teresa.
Teresa, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are together on that.
Yep.
Crushing it. And then business contracts is number 8 on this. And then this was not applicable to Chante, so I'm just going to briefly touch on it here. If you are a service-based business, like Financial Garden is a service-based business, having contracts already together to work with potential clients, because you're going to be working with them on a long term, you may want to consider having an attorney draft up you some contracts. If you're going to be hiring various contractors, like 1099 employees, you may want to have some contracts in place, some do not disclose the agreements. You don't want them, if you work with them briefly, they're sharing your information with another company. So that's something you should consider as well. Tax tips we coming back to, and then business credit. Chante had her business credit profile already set up with DNB, also known as Dun & Bradstreet. So that's huge. A lot of people they want business credit, but don't even know how to really get started and what that even looks like. So those are the 10 things on the checklist. So I'm not going to share that anymore on the screen. But again, if you are really liking what we're talking about tonight and you need that checklist to really take your dream to the next level, the site is on the screen right now for you to get that free download. Okay, so let's go back to the checklist and some things that we talked about yesterday. So one of the things that we talked about is having a business plan. So you started turning on the charm because you said it's a passion. You want women to look good, right? So what are some visions that you have for turning on the charm? Do you see this as just something that you do part-time? Do you see it scaling up? What is your vision for your business?
I definitely see it scaling up. It's already bigger than what I imagined out the gate, and I haven't even started. Haven't even opened. But I'm grateful. I definitely see it growing into some other areas, possibly some other product, and maybe even going off into the area of women's empowerment, maybe going over into the area of, helping women with styling services and things like that. So I definitely see room for growth with my brand. So yes, I definitely see scaling up in the future.
Okay. So
can I interject and just ask the question? Because when we talk about scaling up and we talk about how expanding the business plan, I think a lot of times when we have businesses, we have a vision for it. But what happens when that thing takes off and is much larger than we could have ever imagined? So, I want you to talk a little bit, Tasha, about, the point where you knew Financial Garden was bigger than you and how you were able to make the adjustment, from being just someone who had, an original vision to somebody who now is getting national and perhaps even international recognition.
I would like Chante. She had somebody in her corner. I had somebody in my corner as well. Dorothea Kelly. She Googled her money chat come up. She's amazing, and she was my business coach when I realized that okay, this is more than a side hustle. I already had Financial Garden, as a LLC, trademark a name, went through all this different stuff, but now I'm like, okay, I really need to take this to the next level. And sometimes when you're doing it yourself, it's hard for you to really see your vision. You really do need to consult with people. So I hired a business coach to really get me together on what I needed to do to take Financial Garden to the next level. And one of the things I had to overcome was being able to hire a team, and trusting other people with my vision. And that was hard.
No. We talk about that. We talk about
hard.
Because, at some point, you recognize that it's bigger than you, and that you're going to have to take your baby and put it into the hands of people who I won't say are not skilled and gifted, but don't have a proven track record of handling your thing. So talk about those trust things and how you've been able to navigate through that, Tasha. So I believe that'll be a powerful help tool tonight.
Absolutely.
Working with Dorothea, she let me know what can I delegate. So what can you delegate that you feel like, if something went wrong, it wouldn't be the end of your business. That's how she kind of had to talk me through that. And I had to get over the fear of like, if I hire somebody, what if they quit and then they start their own thing and take my idea, right? I think that was the main thing for me, but I had to really have faith in myself, knowing that it's only one me and it's only one Financial Garden. So you may be able to take it if that ever happened, but you're not going to be me. You're not going to have a passion. You're not going to have my skill set. You're not going to be able to execute like me. So once I was able to really get that confidence, it made it a lot easier for me to be able to hire people and delegate. So one of the things that Dorothea helped me through was hiring a virtual assistant, writing up a job description. Luckily, my corporate 9 to 5, I have so much experience with hiring people, working with HR. So I'm definitely, that was not hard for me. But she gave me insight on things that I could delegate. So virtual assistant, so somebody can do my social media. So I work full time when I realized that this is going to be bigger than me. How can I always be on social media and not just post once a week? So that was one of the easy tasks that I felt like, okay, how can I delegate this out and still have control over it? So she exposed me to different tools, and I had exposed some of that to Chante yesterday when we were talking. So it was like knowing the tools, and you can Google. Everybody, no, people don't want to pay to get good tips. They want to just Google everything, but you want to really have to invest and hire people who are experts in this. And so I hired a business coach so she can tell me those tools. And I wouldn't be out here just spending hours on YouTube trying to get everything for free. And so I knew I had systems in place. So once I got over that and was able to, okay, bring on a team, I know how to write processes out. That's my 9 to 5. What should you do when you do this? So anybody that comes in, they can pick this up and go with it. We can have a couple hour training session, but I have things in place that I can always review what people do so I could be comfortable with it and be able to be out in schools, be doing stuff online and teaching. So delegating social media, having a separate email account for my virtual assistant. So when people are coming and inquiring about sales, it's not just ghost for a few hours. It's you getting some type of timely response. And then also now training instructors. So right now I will go into schools and have someone assist me, but now it's like, okay, I can't just do that. I have to have people go into schools for me and trusting people to lead my online classes. So setting that job description of what I want them to have, being qualified. So all my instructors are going to have either a bachelor's in accounting or finance. If they're not, they don't have that, they're going to have to be certified financial educators. So I know you really know how to execute my curriculum because you have some expertise in it. And it's not, and that's what's going to make me feel comfortable. Okay, even if they put their own spin on it, because everyone's not you, this is curriculum that's written out. They have this financial expertise. It may be different from how I would do it, but it's still going to be done with excellence. And that's what I really had to get over.
Now, Chante, I want you to talk a little bit. Now, you've had two powerhouses, of individuals to be able to pour into you, pre-launch. I want you to talk about a little bit about, what it's been like going through this process, not just with Tasha, but with Teresa as well. And I want you to talk a little bit about, the empowerment that you've gained and the confidence that you have gained, from actually seeing other African-American young ladies pull this off and be successful. And then not only that, but then being willing to pour into those who are coming up.
Well, I will say, Teresa just commented and said, invest, it'll save you a ton of time. It has definitely saved me a ton of time. Just like Tasha, I work full time as well. I'm a parent. I'm an employee of KCC. I'm a daughter. I have a gamut of things on my plate. And so the thought of starting something else was a little bit overwhelming, but it was something that I really, really wanted to do. And so having people around me like Tasha, like Teresa, who are willing to give me knowledge that I did not know, give me, the keys to do what I needed to do, is something that is totally like, you can't pay enough money for something like this. Yeah. I will say that it is an investment into yourself, because even beyond turn up the charm, some of these things that I'm learning are going to change the way I run my everyday life outside of business. It's just going to also allow me to educate other people with some of the knowledge that I've gained from them. So it just has made this whole process for me so much smoother. And then the added bonus of them being African-American women who are successful, to have somebody who looks like me teaching me this stuff is just utterly amazing. And I would definitely encourage, especially African-Americans, but people in general, invest in yourself, invest in your business. Google is okay. Finding things that are free is okay. But sometimes you got to go ahead and put that money to the pavement and, really invest in making your stuff be the best that it can possibly be.
That's so good because, I remember there was a time, when I was in my developmental stages, in life and ministry and as coming up as a preacher, I often struggled with, God, what is it that you want to do with me specifically? And there are times where, you go through whether or not, you really have what it takes to rock out your own brand, and to really, really go after your own vision. And there comes a time where you have to sit with yourself in prayer and meditation, and in structured preparation to be able to say, no, I know this is something that God placed in my spirit. I know that this is something that's now, it's for now. And then you got to believe in what God put in you specifically. So, I just think that is one of the key principles, that will cause you to be, because if you believe in it, you'll structure it right.
Amen.
A lot of people don't take the time to structure it right because they don't believe in what they're building. But if you believe in what you're building, you'll take the time, man, and you'll accept the wisdom. You'll accept the wisdom of
Yes, sir.
people, who have gone before you to accomplish what it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Yep. Absolutely true. And it's funny that Tasha was talking about the importance of having a business coach and how sometimes they will have the foresight that you may not have. Right now, my total tunnel vision is on, this launch, and I'm getting ready to do this, and that with this business right now. But Teresa even talked to me earlier today and was like, I know you're getting ready for your launch, and I know, your focus is on what's getting ready to happen right now. But I want to talk to you about some things that's going to push you forward in the future. And so just having somebody behind you that's going to say, this is good, but I see what's going to come after this is that much more, the help is so helpful. It really is.
Chante's number one cheerleader is on tonight. I love her so much. Mama Edith Murphy, shout out to you and to all of our friends at, Burning Bush and Bishop Shelby. Listen, they are friends of ours and partners in ministry. Listen, let me tell you something. Mama Edith just dropped a major nugget. She said, "And being a kingdom sower allows God to be in the very foundation of the business." I'm gonna throw that on you, Tasha, and talk to me about. I want you to talk about, the spiritual principle and some of the convictions that you have, being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, but then also being a faithful steward and being financially committed to your church as well. Can you talk about that principle a little bit, and where your conviction lies with that?
Financial gardening came out of fasting and prayer. When people I get people asking me all the time, I want to teach financial education. How did you get started? I'll tell them like the shortcut is, I cold call schools and I go through that process. They're like, how did you get the curriculum? God, I got it from fasting and prayer. Literally doing the 40-day Daniel fast, I was in a continuing education for myself, for being a CPA, and I'm sitting there thinking like, man, this dude is probably just reteaching the same information. And I knew I had wanted to teach kids about money, and then it literally came to me, my 6 plans that I teach kids, and I didn't just sit on it. I made the call. I want to come volunteer and do this. I didn't just sit and say, oh, I got to get my business plan. Oh, I got to get my website. I'm like, let me just volunteer and see if I can do this. Now, it's going to be different for whatever business you do, but this was a service-based business. So there was nothing holding me back. I didn't need no product. All I needed was myself. So that was my conviction in fasting and prayer. And being connected is so important because my business coach I hired, we went to church together. We still, pray and talk to each other. Dorothea Kelly and I served in ministry for several years. And so when I was really going through a lot personally, working full time, still trying to do financial garden. That was the point where I realized I need to hire people, frustrated. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put this to the side. I hadn't talked to Dorothea in almost a year. She called me like, hey, I'm doing a VIP day, like meaning I'm getting some business minded people together. We're gonna, talk about our goals. And I'm like, Dorothea, I don't even think I'm gonna do financial garden no more. She was like, yes, you are. Like she was like, I'm not hearing none of that. And I went to her house for an 8-hour workshop and had the biggest revenue I ever had that in ever from working with her. So every time I wanted to put financial garden down, somebody in church would call me out of the blue with words of encouragement. I'll get a contract for someone that I was connected with in Christ. So that's the commission. I know this is really my purpose. I came into this from in church serving. So when I do stuff for KCC, I do one-on-one consults for people for free because it's like, this is really my ministry. If you know me, I don't emote very well. Pastor J always give me a hard time. I'm listening. I'm listening to the word and I'm taking it in. But my gift is administration and finance. So I can talk that all day. And so when I see people who really don't know, I can't sit back and we in church every Sunday. I can give you 15 minutes, 20 minutes because we in church every Sunday, Tuesday of my time. So you won't be so stuck.
And
so
there are people who are literally on this line right now, who have tapped in, and got tips. I'm telling you, man, I know people who have realigned their finances, got houses, got approved for things. Oh, the first lady is on tonight. Beautiful. Beautiful. You're beautiful. Very beautiful. All right. But so many people are being blessed by this. And I think it's because, of the power of connection. So it matters that you take advantage of, those opportunities that are right in our midst, y'all. And this is a wonderful platform. And I just really want to thank you, Tasha, for your time. And again, we're believing God that supernatural blessings are going to overtake you. We're excited about Chante's launch on Friday. Tasha, we got a minute to take a few questions tonight.
Yeah, I can take a few questions.
Okay. How much do we got? Some more to go?
I was going. We can keep going through while we're waiting for questions to pop.
Okay, so if you have any questions right now, go ahead on and put them up on the screen, and then we're going to grab those questions as we go while we're still talking and wrapping up. Okay. If this has been powerful for you tonight in any way, shape, or form, can you just give us a thumbs up so we'll know? Can y'all give us some likes and some hearts and all of that good stuff? And can you most of all hit that share button or tag somebody that needs this information and make sure that they have it, because we just need to know that this information is coming across tonight is actually making a difference for somebody. Hit it, Tosh.
Okay, so I'm gonna just put a pin in that where we're talking about as far as growth is concerned. So one of the things I told Chante was when we were going through, I'm like, one of the first things was getting started. So when you get started, how to really see that vision through is having a business plan. Now, people get so overwhelmed when they hear business plan. That's too much. It's pretty intimidating. There's one-page business plans, and there is a very in-depth business plan, like 15 pages. The point of doing the business plan is so you know how you grow. Who are your competitors? How are you different? And it forces you to think about how you're going to get money every year, to do some revenue projections. I want to say that if I didn't have a business plan, I wouldn't be a finalist right now for Essence. I already had it ready for me. You don't never know what's in store for you. Which if you really are working, doing purpose work, what's in store for you. So having a business plan always keeps you ready and on your toes. So Chante, you have a wonderful problem right now. Because you have all these pre-orders and you already are at the point where you like, before I even hit the launch button, I already have to think about scaling up. So in a business plan, have you ever looked at one or have you considered writing one out?
I definitely have looked at one, and just from our meeting that we had the other day, I have already started drafting a simple one. I'll do a more in-depth one as time goes on, but I realize the importance of making sure that I have that plan because, like you said, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And so I want to make sure that, when the opportunities arise where I need to have, that business plan ready, that is ready, because I want everything that the Lord has for me when it comes to this business. So yes, I am in the process of getting that together as we speak.
Okay, I got a question coming in, but before I get to that, because I want to touch on this accounting. So I am a CPA, so I'm always want to talk about numbers. And One of the things that me and Chante talked about during our consult was I asked her, did she have bookkeeping software? So when you are wanting to scale up in your business, if you want to get a business loan, people are not people, but banks, financial institutions are going to want to see your profit. What have you been doing in your business? And a lot of times new business owners can get overwhelmed and say, I'll get to it, and then come tax time, and then they come to me like, can you do my taxes, my business stuff? I'm like, no, you ain't been doing that all year. That's gonna be a nightmare for me. So one of the things I talked to Chante about is some bookkeeping software. So you remember anything we talked about that? Any tips from that conversation we had that you're considering?
Yes, we talked about the importance of making sure that your financials are together. If the incident came along where, God forbid, I get audited, I need to make sure that I'm able to present all of my financials in a concise way and that they are on point. So the suggestion that Tasha gave to me, she gave me a few suggestions, but the one that looks like it's going to work out best for me is QuickBooks. Because it's going to really streamline all of my financials for me, which for me is important because, I don't have a whole lot of time to, again, it's just one person right now. I don't have a whole lot of time to be making bracelets and filling orders and then trying to figure out, did I write down what I spent money on, or did I keep that receipt, or, so that's going to really be a game changer for me, just to keep me organized. And I'm a pretty organized person, but I just want to make sure that everything stays on the up and up. So thank you, Sister Rochelle. I just want to make sure that everything stays on the up and up as far as my numbers. So financials are a big, big deal.
Okay, 1 second. I was listening to you. So if you guys didn't hear, she's talking about QuickBooks. It's another online cloud accounting software called FreshBooks. Basically, I really suggest if you have a new business and you don't have it in your budget yet to hire a bookkeeper. People always think CPA. You can hire a bookkeeper to do monthly accounting for you. QuickBooks, if you look into your checking account, it's automatically gone. Every time you swipe that debit card, every time you write a check in your business, anything you do with your business account, which you should only be doing stuff in your business account anyway, it's going to track for you. So if you ever say, oh, I don't know what I did with that, or I can't remember doing that, QuickBooks is already tracking it and saying this is income that came in, this is expenses. All you have to do is confirm it and put a receipt in with it. So like Chante said, you may forget a receipt. If you get audited from the IRS, you're going to need all of that stuff. I've been audited by the IRS. It's not fun. So if you have something like QuickBooks, as soon as you pick up product, even if you order it online, do that screenshot, upload it to QuickBooks as your receipt. And that's one way that you can stay on top of everything. So how can you, Jovan Morgan said, how can you possibly manage a mortgage and school loan simultaneously? I don't know if it's more to that question. I will say my story, when I paid off my debt, I didn't have a mortgage yet. I just had student loans. So to me, no matter how much, whatever debt it is, however you want to focus on it, to me, it's always looking at your numbers. Do you know your numbers? Do you know what you're bringing in per month and how much is coming out? And you need to cut back on some expenses. So if you love to travel, cut back on that. If you're eating out all the time, cut back on that and start attacking your debt. I use a debt snowball method. So you can Google that. I'm not going to go into too much in detail here, but the debt snowball method is really how I was able to conquer the debt. And so that works either if you have student loans, credit cards, payday loans, whatever. That plan works no matter what. So that's how you can simultaneously pay off your student loans and all your debt at the same time. Your mortgage, I would just leave for the end. I will focus on, if you do the debt snowball, that's going to be left at the end. Focus on all your debt, smallest to largest first, and just start tackling the debt. Get a side hustle, get some extra money coming in, figure out what your talents are, and monetize it.
I know, Tasha, I got to jump in right there because I know that, we always talk about your story, of eliminating $80,000 in debt, before the age of 30. And most of it was financial education. Student loan debt. Okay. And so here's the thing though, Taj, we kind of slide past the most important part, and that's the discipline part. And so, when we saw you on Fox 2 last night, they kind of hit on it a little bit and talked about how, you had a rough road to go in your 20s because you made a lot of sacrifices. Can you talk about the mindset that it really takes, the discipline that it really takes in order to be able to put yourself in a position to scale up?
So I'm coming back to faith again. I was in a financial empowerment ministry at church, and that's the new money tribe that I found. I really did lose a few friends who were not supportive of me making cutbacks in my life. So that meant I wasn't going to brunches all the time. I wasn't doing girls trip. I wasn't just going out shopping just to entertain, because I think as women we do a lot of shopping as entertainment. Hey, you want to go to the mall? Let's go grab something to eat, and you're just buying stuff you forgot you even had in the back of your car. So one of the things I did was I really got disciplined and focused, and I knew what my goal was. I knew my why. So before even getting all crazy focused on paying off this debt, I knew what my why was. I wanted to own my paycheck. I wanted to really be able to live free and not have this debt weighing me down. I wanted to be able to take my mom on vacations. I wanted to buy a house. I wanted to own real estate. I want to do so much more in my life. So when you know what your why is, when you're passing up on a vacation, when you're passing up on brunch, it don't matter, because are you gonna let these brunches and whatever your vice is, are you gonna let that interfere with your major big goal? So that's how I really stayed focused, and I really found new people to hang around who were just as focused on me, just as focused as I was on reaching the financial goal. It wasn't just them paying off debt. Some people were just getting their investments all the way up. And I'm like, okay, when I get done with this debt, I'm gonna be like you. So it's just really, you may have to change your circle, but that's how I really got focused. Knowing my why, number one, fasting and praying, and really being connected and serving in financial ministry.
Wow. This has been super empowering tonight. And again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments right now, because we want to make sure that we field all questions. Of course, I want to make sure that you have all of the information that you need tonight as a tool for you to be able to take your business plan to the next level.
Yes. So I'm going in these comments really quick to see if it's any questions. We're getting a lot of compliments. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all so very much. Thank you all so much for just tuning in. I pray that the information that we've been sharing tonight has been blessed. Just for reiteration, I want you to go on financialgarden.com right now and vote for Tasha Danielle to win that $100,000 grant. We believe by faith this is going to take her ministry to the next level. Tasha, when you win that $100,000, can you talk to them about what that's for? So they'll know it ain't for you to go buy another Louis or Gucci or so they'll know this vacation money after. But talk a little bit about your vision for winning this grant and why they need to be voting for you.
Number one is hiring instructors. Like I said, part of business is you need to have a team before you get the big sale, before you get the big contract. So I need to be able to have people who are trained and ready to go. So that's going to be one part of it, but really building out the online platform for kids when they are not in school, they can go on without me being on teaching. They can have financial information. Now, there's a lot of financial education out there right now, but I really want to fine tune it and make it Financial Garden's way. So I'm going to be investing, hiring people to go in the classroom and teach, be online teaching, and really just getting that software off the ground to launch online, and also my professional development for teachers. Right now, I do professional development, and the curriculum is been provided to educators, but really streamlining that as well. So Financial Garden does kids in the schools, doing provide information to adults like I'm doing right now with you all, and then also educators doing professional development and letting them know that they can be empowered to teach financial education as well, and providing them my detailed lesson plans for them to teach their students.
That's awesome. That's awesome. God put it on my heart and spirit, particularly during this pandemic, to make sure that we're ministering to, our business owners, to make sure they have aligned their dreams, that their business plans are in alignment in order to be able to see, that economic wealth, that financial wealth begin to take over the kingdom. And I just believe that this is a kingdom moment in time, and that God has positioned us for such a time as this. And listen, y'all, go to financialgarden.com and vote for Tasha Danielle right now. And let's make sure that we bring this thing home. Chante, we're super excited about Friday, the launch of Turn On the Charm Shop.com. Turn On the Charm Shop.com goes live this Friday, June 27th. Chante, give us some final thoughts tonight and whatever you want people to know about this coming Friday's launch.
So the launch is Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
June 27th.
Saturday, guys. Saturday.
I don't want y'all to be on there tomorrow. Like, where is she at? It's Saturday.
June 27th.
June 27th. Just stay tuned. I do have a giveaway posted on my Facebook page. If you aren't following me, please go follow me. Turn On the Charm on Facebook. Turn On the Charm Shop on Instagram. And follow the directions so that you can get in on that giveaway. I'm so excited about this, and I really, really hope and pray that you all love the products that I have coming. I have on one of my bracelets tonight. So I want you guys, please, on Saturday, click on that website for me. Leave your email address to get on our email list so that we can send you updates that are coming from Turn On the Charm. And I am so grateful. Thank you guys for having me tonight. This was awesome.
Tasha, as we close tonight, can you talk a little bit of just about why, your personal passion in closing out tonight and wrapping up, your personal passion and why you feel so passionate about, seeing business owners take their business to the next level. And this toolkit has been amazing tonight. I just want to thank you for all that you've shared. Talk a little bit about your passion as we close out tonight.
I really want people to be informed and not spend money spend money on mistakes they made versus just investing up front to avoid making those mistakes. So a lot of people want to take shortcuts in the beginning by trying to do stuff on their own. I really want them to be empowered and not feel discouraged if they don't succeed in their first business because they didn't get the right advice or were just spinning their wheels. That's why I really want to provide this information to entrepreneurs and business owners, because it's a lot when you have your own business. People on Instagram make it look so easy, right? So people then they can just get a business website, get on Instagram, and they're good. But there's so much more behind it. And that's why I feel like it's really my purpose and my responsibility to really educate people, entrepreneurs, on what they really need to be doing in their business.
Well, listen, this has been a joy to share tonight. Do me a favor one more time, tag and share. If you know anybody who needs this information, you got any dream, any vision, any goal, any business you're trying to launch and get off the ground, listen, this checklist, this business toolkit is your tip to financial freedom. It is also a way for you to have winning strategies and wisdom tips by people who have gone before us to make our way successful. I want to thank Miss Tasha Danielle, our Financial Harvest Ministry leader, as well as Miss Chante Graham for being our special guest tonight. I pray that you have been empowered, and for those of you who have a dream, you need to go back and watch this, because I know it's going to be powerful for you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Stay tuned for other empowerment sessions like this that we're going to be doing virtually in order to be able to bring even further awareness to those who are connected to the kingdom. And always remember, there's power in connection. Bless you all tonight.
Bye, everybody.